Welcome back to Kababayan Today as we celebrate Filipino-American History Month. On the show, hindi mawawala ang kwento ng ating mga kababayan mula sa Hawaii, ang mga Sakada. Alamin natin ang kanilang historya. Panoorin po natin ito. The Philcom Center, you will notice on your left a beautiful mural of this lady. This Filipino woman is a woman of substance. She dedicated her life's work as a philanthropist, helping Filipino families in need. Her name, Consuelo Ayala Alger. Centenarios, learn about the 100 years of Filipinos in Hawaii and beyond. Documented as the very first Filipinos to make Hawaii their home in December 1888, was a group of 4 musicians. The Spanish-American War was to happen the very next year. Did you know that Filipinos who settled in Hawaii in the early 1900s had their own orchestra called Farmer Orchestra? Sadly, there was even a Philippine village in 1904 at the St. Louis World Fair that put more than 1,100 Filipinos on display. The first wave of Filipinos in Hawaii are called Sakadas, which means contract laborers who worked on the sugar plantations that arrived in Honolulu between 1906 and 1946. Filipinos have migrated to Hawaii since 1880 and arrived in large numbers in 1906 when they were recruited to work on the sugar plantations. Let's get to know our early Filipino immigrants to Hawaii. In 1908, Fortunato Tejo arrived with his parents Amando and Barbara Tejo. Fortunato was 1, making him one of the youngest among the first-wave immigrants from the Philippines. Here's a photo of 2 of the very first Filipinas in Hawaii working at a pineapple cannery in Honolulu in 1917. A wage of $18 for 26 days of work, Pedro Tomo Correa, originally from Dingras, Ilocos Norte, arrived in Hawaii in February 5, 1920. He married Lucia Simon, and together they had 7 children born in Hawaii. Because of the constant migration to Hawaii, the Filipino community grew and took root in the plantation communities. Events called life cycles brought the Filipino-Hawaiian communities together. The second wave of Filipino immigrants arrived at the end of World War II. The War Bridges Act of 1946 and the U.S.-Philippines Military Bases Agreement Act provided a window for migration yet again. Here is the Filipino organization, the Visayas of Waipahu, pictured in 1958. Now referred as a third wave of immigrants, these Filipinos arrived in 1965. Over 5,000 Filipinos continue to migrate to Hawaii every year. Primarily and historically, Filipinos from the Ilocos-speaking provinces of northern Luzon continue to migrate to Hawaii till today. Learn your roots at the Philcom Center in Waipahu. October is Filipino History Month, and at the Filipino Community Center, there is a memorial for World War II veterans that have called Hawaii their home. During World War II, about 250,000 Filipinos volunteered to fight alongside U.S. troops. The Filipino soldiers were promised all the benefits afforded to those serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. Congress, however, in 1946 stripped many Filipino veterans of the benefits that had been promised by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Filipinos were the only people denied benefits from the 66 countries that allied themselves with the U.S. during World War II. Over the years, members of Hawaii's congressional delegation have sought to restore the promised benefits. The effort is part of the decades-long struggle of Filipinos who fought alongside U.S. troops in the Philippines during World War II to be recognized for their efforts. About 250,000 Filipinos were incorporated in the U.S. Army under General Douglas MacArthur in the months before Pearl Harbor. They fought alongside U.S. troops during the war. When some were captured, like American troops, they were forced in the infamous Bataan Death March. While other non-citizens who fought with American troops during the war were granted citizenship after the war, the United States did not grant the same to Filipino veterans, partly because the Philippines had gained independence in 1946. All right, when we come back, Switch gears naman tayo and take a look at a milestone celebration of one of our beloved friends of the show. Don't go away, we'll be right back.